this before we started filming, some people's perception, right? What's the biggest myth when you're playing with somebody of bands of those caliber and doing tours like that? What's the biggest myth? What's the thing that's like, no, it's not what you think it
Sex and drugs.
is? There you go. Perfect.
And I think I never see any of that.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh, I missed the heyday. All these, because like all these artists are, they're a little older now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's interesting, like that whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll touring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because I'm not in that kind of band.
Yeah.
But that's just a thing of the past.
Yeah.
But that's a big myth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to bed by 8 o'clock. No sex and drugs for me, Marty.
Spinal
Yeah.
Tap. That's a great scene.
When you guys are partying, I'm out looking for mandolin
Do
strings
in
at
the
3 in
middle
the
of the
morning.
morning. That's the thing. I mean, even at where I'm at, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And you go do a gig, and then you play for you play your 90-minute set, and then you're dead tired, and you get something to eat, and then in my case, like a lot of times I got to drive to the next town after the gig. You pack up your gear and you get it in the trailer, and then okay,
Yeah.
off to Denver.
I've been there. I know it. I know it well.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's not that it is a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of, for me, it's not so much physical, it's mental.
Yeah.
It's mental fatigue. Because I feel like, it's probably the same for you, but I really try to concentrate a lot and listen to everything that's going on. And by the end of the night, I'm pretty spent.
Yeah.
I feel like, besides actually physically playing it, it's mentally, I'm like, wow, okay. So,
Well, for me, and I don't want to talk about me, it's about you, but where I get mentally fatigued is in my in-ears. I always like to get a good mix to hear everybody. And it's not that I worry about everybody's parts, but like if I'm playing and I can tell, one of the members, they might not be feeling the groove just right in their head of the beat, and I gotta, bring them back in and rein them in, or maybe this person needs a little kick over here or something, So you're kind of thinking about, for me at least, I'm thinking about my part, and then I'm kind of making sure everybody else is in place too.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
And that can be taxing, because you're like, oh man, because you're trying to help everybody out.
You're roping everyone in,
You're trying to
wrangling them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the mental thing is really, for me anyway. It's just a lot of concentration.
Yeah.
I really try to concentrate a lot. A question for you.
Yeah.
How do you like playing with in-ears?
Oh, I love them.
Okay.
Years ago I started developing tinnitus just from years of Marshalls,
Right.
cymbals and chinas and everything.
Yeah, sure.
And so I switched over to in-ears probably about 10 years ago
Okay.
now. And I dig them. Do you use them?
I use them, yeah. And not that I have tinnitus or tinnitus, however you say it, but I want to protect my hearing. And
Yeah.
that's one thing I can't stress enough for everybody, is that protect your hearing, because you only have one set of ears, and
You have two sets of ears?
I have two sets of ears.
The other one's in the drawer over
That's
there?
right. They're nose drums. I got eardrums and
Nose
nose
drums.
drums.
You're going to listen to somebody put your nose up to it?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not going to edit that out.
No.
I'm not going to.
So that's funny. But yeah, I think protecting your hearing is really, really important. And it'll give you longevity just in life. You want to hear everything, and musically too. But I have a kind of I like in-ears to a point, but I also sometimes feel like I'm disconnected.
Yeah.
So,
because you can't hear the audience sometimes. Right?
Well, even other players and sometimes like you're hearing only electronically. So unless you use the ones with the ambience and all that. But when I play around town, I just use plugs.
Yeah.
And they have a filter in them, 15 dB.
Oh, I know the ones you're talking about.
And that's perfect,
Yeah.
because it cuts down all that high frequency and the loudness of it, but I can still hear everybody great, and it really feels natural.
Yeah.
But yeah, in-ears are good. It takes a little getting used to, but I like mixing myself.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I must do that.
And so they just, like, they run you a send off of the monitor deck, or what?
Yeah, I've been using the Aviom system, which is they have
I've used that in a couple of church gigs.
That's
Those
right.
are awesome.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
So basically they have the card, which if it goes with the Digico or whatever, and then they just send you a Cat5 cable.
Yeah.
And which gives you all and you just tell them what you want, and I label everything, and it's great because it was really helpful with CSN, Crosby, Stills, Nash, because it's playing with CSN is like playing with 3 artists.
Oh yeah.
Because you're doing their catalog, and then Graham will do his tunes, and then David will do his tunes, and then Stephen will do his tunes. So some songs I wanted just to focus on Stephen, so I'd go still boop 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 boop. His guitar, his vocal, bring back the other guys.
Yeah.
There are other instruments that I didn't need to key in on.
Right.
You know, if I wanted to make it just like a trio, I could mute the other ones and make it feel like a trio. And
cool.
then I unmute those, and like David's doing a tune, boom, David, I have his voice hot, so I can really get into what he's doing. And the other thing I really do, as far as musically, I always play to the vocal. I'm the singer, and I really play to the vocal. More than any other instrument. I'm not thinking drumistically at all. Maybe that's maybe different from other drummers, maybe similar, I don't know, but it's funny, it's almost like drums to me are an afterthought in a way. It's almost, we did the practicing and all that, but when it comes to playing the song, it's the song.
Yeah.
And it's what's the singer singing, and that's exactly what I play to. And I think that's, for me, it works because and I think artists enjoy that. Because they feel like you're really honoring what they're doing. They're like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
How cool.
That's what I've heard that's what Ringo did. Is the thing that he really focused in on was the vocal, and my whole vibe for me, again, I don't want to bring it back about me at all. This is about interviewing you.
Make it
about you. I think the song is what needs to be served. Because that's the most important thing, and that's my clinic. That's what it's playing for the song.
That's
it's
wonderful.
not, here's all my chops. It's here's how I propel or drive or whatever the song. And I think that's awesome. That's in the vocal. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, if you really think about it, that's kind of what it's about anyway. It's creating. We're a part of the whole thing, and. There's like in my jazz record, there's, we played as an ensemble, but then we branch off, and I had my voice.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why I did it, because I could kind of play anything I wanted.
Right, it's your record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, not going over the top, but it was fun for me to stretch out, and I encourage that with everyone else. But yeah, there's certain songs that they go a certain way. The singer has a certain pulse they're playing it at, and they're telling a story, and far be it from me to get in the way of their story.
Right.
And I think that has served me really well.
That's cool, man.
Well,
then, maybe that's the answer to this last question, but we'll leave it with this. There's a lot of, the reason that I did this whole video series and that I'm doing it is because with my drum students, a lot of the stuff that they ask me will be like, stuff that to you and me would just be like, well, yeah, you always use slide cases, just like no-brainer type of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what this whole thing is about. So what would be, if you could give young players out there or people that are coming up that want to get the big gig, that want to do it, what would be the one piece of advice or a piece of advice that you would give somebody out there that's watching this that wants to make that leap?
I just say go in both feet.
Yeah.
Jump in with both feet and trust that, if that's really what you want to do, go for it. Just do it. Don't second guess things, or other people may say, yeah, this is really, how hard the music business is, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd say just follow your instincts and your heart, and practice a lot, and go play with everybody, and you'll have fun.
Yeah.
It's really about having fun too, because that's one thing I notice about most of these musicians I get to play with. They're really having fun. They love it.
Yeah.
So that's really where it starts.
Yeah.
As far as like getting a big gig and all that stuff, I think it's just there's really no special magical you know, answer to that other than just, you know, show up, play, have fun, and you never know where you're gonna wind up.
Yeah, right.
One day,
Right.
you know.
You might be playing with David Gilmour.
You may be.
Steve, thanks so
My
much, brother.
pleasure, man.
I really appreciate it. Guys, I hope you got something out of that, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I don't know how I'm going to top this one, but, you know, I'll see you tomorrow.
Peace. See ya.